Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, June 13th, 2024. We're so close to the weekend. I can smell it. Let's get past this Thursday, get ourselves into Friday, and enjoy our weekend. Today, we're going to have 6 more plays to break down for the Thursday slate of games. We have 2 game picks, 4 player props in total, 3 best bets of the day, and 3 graphic plays today. I honestly felt sick after recording this video because I did something that I usually never do with today's game picks. Hopefully it works out, but I'm pretty uncomfortable right now about it. If you guys enjoyed the content though in this video, please be sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel below. We are working our way towards 12,000 subs on this channel. All right, guys, enjoy the video. Let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's get into this graphic for Wednesday. I am recording early. None of the games have started. Tuesday, a little bit of recap. O'Neal Cruz did not hit on the graphic play, but in that Pirates game, we did hit the best bet of the day under first 5 innings between the Cardinals and the Pirates. Miles McCollum had himself a no-hitter going into, I believe, the 6th inning. So shout out Miles McCollum for that. We also had Brandon Nimmo as a loss on the best bets, but Zach Wheeler backed us up. So 2-in-1 day on the best bets there. And then Nationals, I thought they were going to screw me. Mitchell Parker, he gave up a triple and then an error. So 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs like he always does with 2 outs. But Nationals find a way to win in an extra. So not a bad day on Tuesday. Looking for a better day here on Wednesday, though. We've got the Braves and the Orioles. Over 9.5 runs scored between those 2 rookies on the mound. We have Seiya Suzuki over 1.5 bases going up against the Rays. And then Jake Irvin, my Nationals, under 2.5 earned runs going up against the Tigers. The graphic plays for Wednesday, we had the Guardians, Reds, under 8.5 runs scored. Austin Riley and Gunnar Henderson in that battle of the rookies, looking for a lot of runs in that game. So hopefully those 2 can go over there over 1.5 bases. Let's take a look at the leaderboard just really quick. It is updated a little bit. We had a 2-in-1 day on the best bet. So game pick changed to 1-0 and props changed to 1-1. Updated record there for you all the year to date. Let's go over to the games for today. We have 2 games we're going to be breaking down. We are going to start with the Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Boston Red Sox. We have Aaron Nola going for the Philadelphia Phillies, Tanner Houck going for the Boston Red Sox. It makes me sick to do it on the first play of the day, but I'm going to take the under between these 2 teams as the play. We're going to start with Tanner Houck, and honestly, it doesn't really matter where we start because both of these guys have been dialed into the plate over the last several games. Tanner's coming into this game with a 1.91 ERA and a sub-1 whip of 0.92. Over the last 4 games, he's been able to do 6+ innings in all 4 of those games, and he's gone 7+ innings in 3 of the last 4 games. And he's been basically perfect in all of these games, giving up 3 hits or less in 3 of the 4. And he's also only allowed a total of 4 runs over the last 4 games, going up against the Tampa Bay Rays, the Brewers, the Tigers, and the Chicago White Sox. Some of those teams, not very good, but a few of those teams, they've been pretty productive this season. I love everything about him coming into this game, going up against the Phillies. They should struggle a little bit going up against Tanner. I'm not sure if they're going to struggle a whole lot, but I think the Philadelphia Phillies, they're a great hitting team. They shouldn't be able to score more than 3 runs on Tanner. I think Tanner will give us 6+ innings of work, might allow 3 runs, but he shouldn't be more than 3 runs. 3 runs or less for Tanner in this game for sure. And speaking of guys to give us 6+ innings, Aaron Nola, he's been doing the same thing that Tanner's been doing over the last several games. Over the last 5 games for him, he's gone 6+ innings in all 5 of those games. He's given up 2 runs or less in all 5 of those games as well. And just like Tanner, he's coming in with a sub-1 whip, 0.97 on the year. Aaron Nola, he's worked his ERA down quite a bit as well over the last 5 games, down to 2.77. I love the matchup here for Aaron Nola because the Boston Red Sox, they haven't been able to score a ton of runs over the last couple games, especially over the last couple series against the White Sox. 2.77 runs per game over the last 3 for them. The Red Sox, they do a decent job of getting people on base. They get a couple walks. They get a couple hits. They just can't get anybody across the plate. So I do think Aaron Nola is going to be able to shut them down in this game. Everything's pointing towards the under, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the under in this game. I hate unders, but give me the under total run score in this game. Under 8 runs as the play. Again, line is subject to change because I am recording a little bit early. So for right now, under 8 runs as the play for this game. Let's take a look at the player props for this one. Rafael Devers, not going to touch him, but I am going to play Kyle Schwarber in this game. Under 1.5 bases going up against the Red Sox. Again, an underplay for me, but this is coming off Kyle Schwarber hitting back-to-back home runs against Cutter Crawford on Tuesday night. I'm still going to take the under, though, here as the play. For some reason, Kyle Schwarber against right-handed pitching, he typically struggles, only coming in with a 180 batting average against righties. It didn't show on Tuesday night. He had 2 home runs, obviously, but he does draw a ton of walks against right-handed pitching. That's what I'm kind of hoping for in this game. He has 28 walks already this season against right-handed pitching, and all of his numbers are down whenever he faces righties. Occasionally, he'll have a couple home runs, but he does only have 8 home runs against the right side this season. He has 25 hits and 139 at-bats, and Tanner's coming into this game in pretty good form. So I do think he's going to give Kyle Schwarber a little bit of trouble. I'm going to take the trends here. I'm going to take under 1.5 bases as the play for Kyle Schwarber. All right, 2 unders. Kind of crazy. Let's go over to this one. Another underplay here between Luis Castillo and Garrett Crochet. I'm sorry, I'm going to make you watch the Chicago White Sox. You don't have to watch it because I'm taking an under as the play, under 7.5 runs. Anytime you take an under, I give you guys a pass not to watch any games, especially if it's in football. If you're taking an under in football and you watch that game, you are considered a psychopath in my book. And there's a very rare occasion, though, whenever you watch a game in college football, especially. The only game that I let you watch an under is the Army-Navy game in football, but that time's going to come later. Let's take a look at this game between the White Sox and the Seattle Mariners. We have Garrett Crochet on the mound for the White Sox, Luis Castillo on the mound for the Seattle Mariners. Both of these teams this season, they can't score any runs. White Sox, 3.09 runs per game. Mariners, 3.90 runs per game. Two of the worst teams in baseball getting people across the plate. We also have pretty good arms on the mound for both sides. So I'm going to take the under in this one as the play, under 7.5. Again, that line is subject to change. But we're going to start here with Luis Castillo. And I owe him an apology. I really do, because I jinxed him the other day going up against the Royals. He had gone 10 consecutive games giving up 2 runs or less. And then I had to go on and talk about him doing his thing. And then he gave up 5 runs to the Royals the next day. So that's on me. My bad, Luis Castillo. It was his worst start of the season. He brought his ERA up to 3.35. But I'm going to take him again in this game. I think he's going to have a bounce-back performance against the worst team in baseball. Before that game against the Royals, he was flawless. He did everything well. He faced off against good teams. He faced off against bad teams. It just didn't matter, though. He would go 6+ innings in every single game. He would give up a few too many hits, 5+, even 6+ sometimes, but he would never let the Seattle Mariners out of the game, giving up 2 runs or less in all of those games. I like him to get back in this game going up against the Chicago White Sox, giving up 2 runs or less. And for the Chicago White Sox, this has really been their only bright spot in the starting rotation, with Garrett coming in with a 3.33 ERA and a sub-1 whip, 0.93. If he wasn't on the White Sox, he would probably have 8 or 9 wins already this season, because he should have won the last 8 starts he's been in for this team. Over the last 8 games, he's given up a total of 5 runs, and he's faced off against a few quality teams. In the last game against the Boston Red Sox, he went 6 innings. He gave up only 3 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 10. Garrett is a strikeout pitcher, having 8+ strikeouts in 3 consecutive games, and he's also been able to go 6+ innings in 6 of the last 7 games. So we should see some pretty good pitching over the first 6 or 7 innings of this game between Luis Castillo and him. I like the under once again in this game. Let's just take the under. Let's just take the under first 5. I'm not going to mess with the bullpens. Both of these starting pitchers are really good. We should get really good first 5 from these starting pitchers. So let's take the under 3.5 runs as the play there, not the under 7.5 runs in the game. I'm going to change the graphic real quick on that. But, yeah, I like the under first 5 here. Let's not mess with the bullpens. Bullpens have been bad. Also, I'm pretty sure the White Sox and the Mariners played a couple days ago, and then they went into extras and scored 8, and they only had 1 through the entire game. So let's just take the under 3.5 in the first 5 for this play. Best play of the day here. Between the Mariners and the White Sox. Let's go to the player props on the screen. I'm not going to take Luis Castillo, even though he hit maybe the best home run I've ever seen. It was a 97 mile per hour fastball dotted in the top corner, jammed him inside, and he turned on it, sent it, 1,000 feet to left field in the 3rd deck or whatever it was. It was an amazing play. He's an amazing player, but for him, sadly, the White Sox suck. Not going to take him, though. I am going to take Julio Rodriguez here in this game, over 1.5 bases going up against the White Sox. I gave Garrett his flowers. He's well-deserved. He's had a good season so far, but I think Julio Rodriguez will find some success in this game, knocking a couple singles. We do have the left against right matchup, and Julio Rodriguez is hitting .324 against left-handed pitching this season. That is one of the best numbers in baseball. And while Garrett has been very good this season, the only weakness that he's had is gone against right-handed hitters, giving up 20 of his 21 extra base hits to that side. A lot of that is because he faces more players on the right side, but some of that is he just struggles a little bit more on the right side. Julio Rodriguez, he's also coming into this game hot at the plate, collecting at least 1 hit in 5 consecutive games and having 2 multi-hit games over the last 5 as well. I like him in this game going up against the White Sox, so I'm going to take him my first overplay of the day, over 1.5 bases for Julio Rodriguez. All right, let's get into the best props for today. Let's take a look at these cards. We're going to start with a batting prop, and taking an over feels good. I'm going to take Christian Walker again, over 1.5 bases going up against the Angels. Christian Walker, he's coming into this game with a .251 batting average. He's actually been struggling just a little bit at the plate, only collecting 3 hits in the last 4 games, which isn't that bad, but for Christian Walker, it's not great. I think he's going to have his best day of this season going up against Griffin Cannon, who's been going to be pitching for the Los Angeles Angels in this game. The numbers for Griffin this season have been pretty bad. He's coming in with a 4.65 ERA, a 1.38 whip. I don't care that he's given up a lot of runs this season in just 13 games. I care that he's given up 70 hits already in 13 games. Over the last 5 games, he's given up a total of 30 hits, and that's not going to get the job done going up against the Diamondbacks and Christian Walker. He's also given up 11 home runs this season, and Christian Walker, he's got a ton of power in that bat. Griffin has also, his home run problem lately has been a problem. 5 home runs over the last 4 games. Christian Walker has 9 of his 12 home runs this season going up against right-handed pitching, and he might as well make that 9 home runs in the double digits to 10 home runs in this game, sending one over the fence. So I'm going to take Christian Walker here over 1.5 bases as the play there. For my pitching prop today, back to unders. Luis Severino of the New York Mets, under 2.5 runs allowed going up against the Miami Marlins. Typically, I would never trust Luis Severino most of the time. I bet him to go over his total runs, but I just watched him going up against the Nationals, a little bit of recency bias. That might be a mistake on my part. I think the Nationals are better than they probably are. They're probably not a very good team, but he was pretty good against the Nationals. He only gave up 1 run in 8 innings. He's also shown the ability to go deep in some of these games, going up against teams that are not the best at hitting this season. He did that against the Nationals, and he did that against the Giants in 2 of the last 3 games. He was able to go 7 innings against the Giants. He only gave up 2 hits in that game, 1 run. Then obviously you guys know the stats about the Nationals. So in 2 of the last 3 games, he's been able to go 15 innings, giving up just 2 runs and going pretty deep. The Miami Marlins will definitely fall under the category of teams that are not good this season, especially not good at scoring runs. They're coming into this game as the 3rd worst team in baseball, scoring 3.59 runs per game. They have also been much worse over the last 3 games, only scoring 2.33 runs per game. Again, typically I would badmouth Luis Severino, but he's been pretty good over the last couple games, and he's getting a cupcake matchup here going up against the Marlins. I've got to take a chance on him here. Under 2.5 runs allowed going up against the Marlins. Another underplay. I'm taking too many unders. Let's take a look at the graphic. The recap graphic for today. We have 3 graphic plays. Phillies and Boston, under 8 runs scored in that game. Again, that line is subject to change. I am recording very early, so I'm going to take the under 8 runs for now in that game. Kyle Schwarber, an under batting prop, under 1.5 bases going up against Tanner. He has struggled against righties this season, only hitting 180, so I like the under there for Kyle Schwarber. And then Julio Rodriguez going up against Garrett Crochet, over 1.5 bases. Like the play there as well. For the best bets of the day, we're going to take the White Sox and the Mariners, under 4 runs in the first 5 scored. Again, you got to watch for that line. It might be 3.5, might be 4, but I love the under in that game between those 2 pitchers. Then we have the player props. Christian Walker, over 1.5 bases, going up against Griffin Canning and the Angels. And then Luis Severino, under 2.5 earned runs allowed, going up against the Miami Marlins. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB plays and props for Thursday, June 13th slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.